We've got Nathan Lowe here, who's the co-driver, Aaron Bowering. And Nathan's just going to go through and give us a bit of a rundown. What he does as a navigator when he's navigating and co-driving, as you call it, for Aaron. So over to you, Nathan.
So the main two things that we've got with this weekend is we've got the Rally Safe system, which is the tracking system that we use. Obviously it's got the rally time, the distance it comes up, so we use it for timing as well, so they can track us with it in case of an accident like we've had before. We let them know that we're okay. It records G-forces, etc. like that. It's a one-stop shop for safety and tracking, and they also use it for timing as well. This is our rally computer, our trip computer. So especially in a blind event like this, we use that for measuring distances. So it's got two different measuring devices on it. It's got an intermediate distance, which I can zero on the foot pedal on my floor, and then there's also a cumulative distance, so we can actually find out where we are in the stage, just in case of something like this happens and we stop. So we can tell our service crew and anyone else that wants to know where we are at the time, so they can relay that information back to the base, and they know where we are. So just going through a few other controls in the car.
Just before you go, you mentioned about blind round. You normally do pace noting. Just explain the blind round scenario.
We do a bit of both. The championship this year is 4 rounds, so the championship's 2 blind events and 2 pace note events. Now what a blind event is a blind event is what they call a tulip event. So we get a road book such as this, and it gives you a distance to the next corner, it gives you a picture of the corner, and it gives you an instruction. So in case of this one here, it's 2.85 kilometers to the next corner. That is a description of the corner, so the road will go left, and it's caution through the causeway. So it's pretty simple. Yep. So all we do is follow that. So every time we go to a corner, we reset the trip computer. The trip computer counts up, and we count back against the trip computer to get a distance. So it might be, so in the part of 2.85 kilometers, I wait till there's about 800 meters to go, and I'll call down from 800 meters. I call in every 200 meter increments, because the speed that we are going at, we are going very quickly. 200 meters is a split second, so it doesn't take very long to get through.
Yeah.
So that's the different. That's a blind event.
Right, and the pace noting?
A pace note event is where we do reconnaissance on the day before or the weekend before, whatever works.
Yep.
We write a set of notes, so we grade each corner from in our particular case, we grade each corner from 1 to 9. Then we put little intermediate instructions in between that. So we might put crests, road goes left, road goes right. It all basically depends on what Aaron wants to hear, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to paint a picture to Aaron so he can see what's coming up.
Yep.
Depends on the road, depends how quick it is. We can call up to 3 corners ahead at some points, or we can call just what's in front of us. It all depends on the style of road and how quick you are. We're getting up to the level that things are coming up a lot quicker now, so I do tend to call a bit quicker.
Yep.
So we go through the rest of the car. Obviously your standard old pen holder, you can't have enough pens and pencils in the car. Standard road car, you've got your hazard and your demister, pretty standard. The gauges, these are the 3 main gauges that we watch for, which is your water temperature, your oil pressure, and your boost. Then it's just the gauge cluster on the dash is a pretty standard thing. The speedo doesn't work, because the speedo determines basically on your tyre size and diff ratios and stuff like that. So the speedo doesn't really work that accurately.
Yep.
We can also get the speed off the Rally Safe module. That will tell us our speed, and it'll also tell us our average speed. So if we want to know how fast we're going, we have a quick look at that.
Yep.
So you go through the rest of the. So these 2 dials here are our intercom. So we run a full race intercom inside the car, and they're all plugged into our helmets. So while we're going along, we can talk to each other, and I can call the calls so Aaron can hear them clearly.
Yep.
Because we've taken all the deadening out, this is a purpose-built race car.
Yep.
you can't hear yourself think inside, especially with all the gravel poking up and stuff underneath it.
Sure.
So we run reasonably expensive helmets,
Yep.
and they've got really good intercoms in them. They've also got noise deadening and things like that. So I can only hear what Aaron's saying. I can't actually hear what anything else is outside the car, which
Yep.
is really great because we can have good conversations, and I can. For me, it's all about relaying information to him so he can drive as fast as possible.
You're right.
So
Give him that picture. That's right.
and that's all I'm trying to do is literally just paint a picture in his head on what's coming up next. And what I do with the book is I try to give him as much information as possible about what's coming up so he can do his job to the best of his abilities, which he does generally
You've got a
quite
few
well.
other switches down there.
So this is the camera button, so this is on and off for the camera.
Okay, yep.
So obviously your horn, normally that's on the instruments, but we have that separately. Your demister for the rear.
Yep.
Your spotlights, when we run at night, that will turn the spotlights on. That is your electric fan, so it's your thermo fan on the front of the engine. Your interior lights, so when we come into a control at night time, we can turn the interior light on. Mm-hmm. That's obviously, so then you get into your start and ignition.
Yep.
I won't start it now because we've got the engine pulled apart, but that's the isolation key. So turn the isolation key,
Everything's dead.
flick the ignition switch on, then hit the start button.
Yep.
Now these two other buttons here is we run a fire suppression system, and that is your fire button. Sorry, that's your fire button there. So if we have a problem, we hit the fire button, and it sprays. There's sprays all located all around the engine bay, etc., and that will generally put most fire buttons out.
Yep.
We also have the anti-lag switch. Now the anti-lag keeps the turbo spooled when we back off,
Right.
so it gives us more acceleration. We don't use that because it basically sort of lessens the life of the turbo, so our budget's pretty scun, so we don't normally use that very much.
Yeah.
Now the other dials here is the diffs, so we can actually adjust the ratio, well not the ratio but the percentage forwards and backwards of the diffs.
Yep.
So we also use that, and that depends on whether it's a really tight pack surface or a skatey surface. Aaron adjusts them as he's going, and it's all for feel for him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's also another part of the fire suppression system.
Yep.
So pretty much as we run a standard 6-speed Subaru gearbox,
Right, okay, yep.
and a lot of other guys can run sequentials and dog boxes and things like that, but due to cost factors, we run a standard 6-speed, which are approximately around the $1,000 mark, and they're pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
Normal handbrake, we don't run a hydraulic handbrake, we just run a normal handbrake. We find that works fine.
Right. Just on that, with the handbrake,
Yep.
you hear them in rally cars talk about the handbraking.
Yes.
You use it very often?
Yeah, we do. We
Right.
do.
So what's the... Just run down with what you normally type do.
When we come into a corner, if we really want to pitch the car and on a tight corner, if we really want to try to get the back of the car around, you just tab the handbrake and it just pulls the car out. It's basically a positioning tool for the corner.
Yep.
On a fast flowing corner, you don't generally use them, but
Correct.
like on a real tight corner, if you want to get around and try to apex your corner, you just tag the handbrake and it just pulls the back of the car around, and it works really good. Like it's just a technique that some of the guys use.
Yep.
I'm lucky enough to sit next to an absolutely unbelievable driver.
Okay.
And he's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the other thing we've got down here is we've got all our fuses and our relays and all that sort of stuff, just in case we have something go wrong. But generally, this thing's pretty bulletproof, so we don't generally have too many problems.
Just go through the rally shape a bit more in detail, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. No worries at all. So we have a current rally time, which is the base time for the weekend, and that's 4 hours. So because we're broken down at the moment, that time is really irrelevant. Normally, when you're in stage, you have a distance. That's the distance to the finish, and then you've got your speed. So when we're moving, that'll come. It's like a speedo.
Yep.
And then you'll have your average speed.
Yep.
And you can actually go and view your stage times.
Okay.
So if we actually completed the stage, which we didn't this morning, normally your stage times come up completely.
Yep.
And then you can also brighten and dim at night time.
Yep.
What these are fantastic for is when you have an accident or you stop on course.
Yeah, you're right.
So when we're going along, a car stopped on the side of the road, it will come up green or red or amber. It depends on the severity of what's going on. So if the car's okay and the crew are okay, when we drive past, it'll actually come up with a 200 metre warning to show that the car's okay, car and crew are okay and they're off course. So we can continue going. On the other case, there possibly could be, is that if it goes amber, that means that the car is a hazard on course. So it also gives us a 200 metre warning. So we back off and we might have to drive around the car or something like that. Now, the other one that's really great is that if it's red and if it's a hazard and they require assistance, the rules of rallying state that we have to stop.
Yep.
Now we have an OK sign.
Yep.
This is a slightly crumpled version of our OK sign.
Yep.
So OK and then SOS.
Yep.
If they are displaying the SOS board or they're not displaying at all, we have to stop, otherwise we get disqualified for that. Right. It is mandatory.
Yep.
And so it's the first 3 cars that pull up that if they don't see the SOS, if they don't see the OK sign, sorry, they have to pull up.
Yep.
First car renders assistance to the crew. The next car will render assistance to the next SOS point or the next control.
Yep.
So it's a buddy system. We're all out there.
Oh, for sure.
Even though we're racing against each other,
Yep.
we're all friends and we all, want to have a good time and
That's right.
we all want to make sure everyone's safe.
Well, you don't want to be at the end of the day where you've had a fatality and everyone's crying on everyone else's shoulders.
No, absolutely not. Like I said,
And unfortunately, it does happen.
it does happen, but we're all friends and we're like a big family.
Yep.
Of the community of rallying. It's fantastic.
Yep.
We bought. I think this weekend we've got 6 cars up from Mount Gambier. We've got 30 plus people that have come up for the weekend.
Yeah.
We're all mates.
Yeah, that's it.
We all hang out together like before and after the rally and stuff like that, and we help each other. We just had potentially 10 or 12 guys working on the front of our car to get it going.
That's right.
So it's fantastic. Look, you can't thank these guys enough.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like you said, you have Gary or Paul. I should say Gary Brown's another one from now Mount Gambier, and Paul Heenan, plus these co-drivers. They have a problem when your fellows will go and help them, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
There's more hands the merrier.
And this afternoon when the boys come back, we'll jump in and we'll help the guys out and we'll do everything we can to get them going as well.
Yep.
So we can all go and have fun.
That's right.
That's the idea of it. And we just love it.
Yep.
We all camp together, we all have a beer together and it's great. Even if anyone needs anything, like any of the Adelaide guys or anyone else needs anything, we'll pitch in, we'll help, and we'll get everyone going because we just want to see everyone have fun.
That's right. Yeah.
So and obviously the only other thing that we've got is we've got a 6-point harness.
Yeah.
Also, what's called we're a Simpson hybrid, which is a head and neck device.
Yes.
Which attaches to my helmet.
Yeah. You don't wear the hands?
No, I don't wear a hands device. No.
For any reason?
Because I'm a bigger bloke and
okay.
I don't, not being personal, but I don't really have much of a neck.
Yep.
So in a minute I'll show you what the Simpson hybrid is.
Yep.
The hands device, when you put the hands device, because the hands device runs over the top of your shoulders, you put the helmet on. I find that I haven't got much of a neck, so the hands device rolls.
Yep.
My helmet rolls on the hands device.
Yep.
With the hybrid, because it's a T-piece that sits across the back of your shoulders.
Correct.
I've still got movement with my helmet.
Yep.
So I find the hybrid a lot better to run with.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to a lot of guys, bigger guys like myself.
Yep.
And we all find that the hybrid's a lot better. Like Aaron's, a skinnier bloke, smaller guy, got a big neck, so he can run a hands device, and he's got that gap.
Yep.
So it's just a personal choice. Hands devices are significantly cheaper. You pay. I thought
it'd be the other way around.
No. A hands device nowadays are only about $450, where the Simpsons were, I think they start at $750 and range up to over $1,000.
Yeah, I can remember people talking like initially when the hands come out was about $900.
Absolutely, it's like anything. It's things will go down over a period of time. And I guess as more people are wearing them too, there's different options, there's different weights and things
and more
like
manufacturers making the similar thing, but not exactly the same because they can't.
No, that's exactly right, and that's the biggest thing about like especially when you go to state level rallying and higher, is that majority of stuff has to be FIA spec approved.
Yep.
Where our suits, boots, socks, anything we wear, balaclava, helmets. Everything's got to be FIA approved.
Yep.
Where Speedway is more like SFI, what they call an SFI approved thing, which is no difference really. It's just a different, it's a different accreditation.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's not much difference in them. It's just they've got a different thing, and that's what CAM's mandate that we have to run is FIA spec stuff. That's what we've got to do. But it also is it's the value of your helmet and how much value you put on your head.
Correct.
So once I get out of here in a sec, I'll show you what I run as a Simpson hybrid, and I'll also show you my helmet. So we'll get on to that in a sec.
No worries. Okay, thank you for